I set up a company called HAB, Happiness, Architecture, Beauty, as a development company. And we're finishing this scheme in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. It's a scheme of about 42 homes called the Triangle, and designed by a wonderful award-winning British architect, Glenn Howells. My great difficulty is that every new scheme we're building 7 now. I look at the range of materials out there. I cannot find one to match hemp. I can't find one that has such a low embodied energy, that locks carbon in, that has such a low environmental impact, that can be grown locally and harvested with minimum inputs in a matter of just a few months. It's an incredibly expedient building method. Every other system I look at involves a skin and a structure and an insulation and then you're worrying about where the thermal mass goes, and I cannot find a material which does what hemp does. We made a television series about this project, and we went off and planted a field of hemp, and over 12 to 14 weeks watched it grow to 4 meters tall. And that was next to a power station, which was rather neat. So, and the trains went by and the motorway went by, and you saw the plumes of smoke coming out of the chimneys of the power station. You thought, this field of hemp is absorbing all the CO2 and dirt, and we're going to build houses with it. So for me, there's a tremendous excitement in the pioneering notion of using this material. The project manager here on site said to me, he loved the material because we'd had this lorry reversing on site, a big cement mixing lorry. Instead of pouring out heavy, wet, toxic, caustic concrete, it would instead pour out this sort of fluffy, lightweight stuff that was like sawdust. It didn't require any power tools. So all we had was buckets and barrows and blokes. And because there are no power tools, there are no cables everywhere. And it actually makes for a very, very healthy, very safe building site, hemp. It's a very, very builder-friendly material. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Directly on the material, and it does not burn. No smoke, no flame spread. And if you feel the back of the material, as you can tell, I'm holding my hand on it, so there's no thermal transfer. Well, we manufacture sustainable building materials. We use hemp and lime, which are very sustainable materials. Here in Alberta, there's an abundance of hemp that's already processed, and we have an abundance of lime as well. What we've developed is a structural block that does not require any cement or concrete or rebar. You simply stack the blocks up like Lego. There's an adhesive binder that goes between them, and you're done. The number one advantage to having a hemp building system is the indoor air quality and comfort for the occupants. So people living in the building, it regulates humidity, there's no mold that can grow, it's very warm and even temperatures, it's cooler in the summertime. It's basically just an ideal building material for interior comfort and air quality. When the plant grows, it absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and it's stored in the material of the plant itself as carbon. And so we capture about 6 kilos of CO2 per block in the actual material. So by the time the building is complete, it'll actually have a negative carbon footprint because of using our materials. This is a pilot facility, and we're working towards commercial production.
Take a look at the exterior of the house. This is hempcrete. It's a mixture of hemp, lime, and water. And inside the house, there are a lot more green features we can show you.
We heard that we could have a really great neighborhood party if it ever caught on fire.
Karen Korp and her husband, former Asheville Mayor Russ Martin, have heard their share of jokes about their new home.
The floor plan is completely open with 14-foot walls.
Now the couple has the last laugh as they show off their hemp house.
It was about $100.
That's last month's cooling bill for the 3,400 square foot home.
The insulating factor and thermal capabilities are fantastic.
There's even more green materials inside the home. The walls and the doors are all made out of recycled paper, only a couple of inches thick and very breathable.
Breathable like the hempcrete, which we first saw when the house was under construction in November.
It's a built-in air filter, which for myself and my company is our main focus, is air quality and the non-toxicity and chemical-free aspects of material.
This is our bathroom, and it's wonderful. We have the LED lights in here, fluorescence over here. The wall is of a natural stone.
While the home sits on expensive land off Town Mountain Road, the couple says it only cost $133 per square foot to build the house. They're hoping more people will follow their lead.
I think this is really the wave of the future in looking at using renewable and recyclable materials that are a lot healthy, better for the environment, and certainly for living.